Hello, good day. Today we're going to do a face-off. I've got loads of razors to get going on, but I've got a potential buyer for this one, and he kind of hinted that he wouldn't mind seeing it being shaved with. So here we go. And I'm always happy to shave with a Grah 120. Sorry, I took it away too soon. This is a Grah 120, and if you don't know about these razors, they are one of the best Solingen razors I've ever had. The second razor I ever honed was basically a Grah, but without the etching. I didn't know it at the time, but this is made by the same company that did the Grahs, and the company is Grah and Plumacher, but that's spelled Grah and Plumacher from Solingen. I'll probably get that all wrong apart from the spelling. And they're essentially nearly the same razors. I'll try and not cut myself by showing them. They're essentially the same razor, nearly. There's a few differences, and if I'm going to be really fussy, the superfineness on the Superfine starts a bit. Oh, does it? Oh, it's just so hard to tell. No, but they're about the same really. And I've always kept this one through sentiment really, because this was, I'm sure it was the second razor I got honed properly, and I got a good few shaves off of it. And it's been honed since then, and it still shaves like brilliantly. But these Grahs, every single one I've had, apart from one, but that was my mistake on the honing. It was a tiny bit bitty, I call it. And the second razor I'm going to shave with today is called the Electric Razor, made in Germany, Crown Imperial Special Hollow Ground. And for love nor money, I can't figure out who this was made by. So if anybody knows, I'll be grateful if you just pop me a message or something, because I always like to at least find out who made them and everything. I've been onto like the German archives and that, and I still can't figure it out. So, but it's good steel, good grind, act well on the stones, X strokes hit it. It's got like a bit of a smile to the spine, bit of a smile to the edge, like it's meant to. So I thought I'd shave with that today as well, just because I honed both of them today. I'm going to be shaving with the Captain Fawcett's Posh Soap, Scapico. Sorry to any Italians that might be watching at all. But it's a lovely soap, and I'm always happy to get that one out. Today I'm going to be shaving with my old Chubby 2 as well. I think I'm going to sell my other brush now. I've made up my mind, because I've not gone back to it after getting this one, and I just figure I'm not kind of a brush dude, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't mind getting a nice Badger one, probably a Chubby 2 or Chubby 3, or definitely a Simpson one anyway, because I like their brushes. But yeah, I've not gone back to the other one, so I must like this one better. Or is it just because it's newer? Who knows? That's what I mean. I wouldn't want to end up loads of brushes. I've already got hundreds of razors. God almighty. Yeah, if you've never shaved or got one, seriously, if you can find one and get it honed, or if you're a honer yourself, try and find one, man. I quite lucked into that one. Some of them are made in Germany, I think, because I had a message from somebody in Italy who bought one, and he was like, he's really struggled finding the Sheffield steel ones. Let's read the back actually, because I didn't do that. So on the back it says, finest Sheffield steel, forged and real hollow, ground in Germany. So the Italian dude who bought, I think it was the last Grah I sold actually, said he'd been really struggling to find one in Italy that was Sheffield steel. I can't really confirm that though myself, because the only ones I've ever had have been Sheffield steel, and I've not researched it, so I can't be 100% sure. But that's what he was saying anyway. I was a bit interested when he sent the message, and I've had so many compliments of the people that have bought the Grahs off me, and the only reason I ain't found one is because I've got that other one up there, and it's the same really. It really is. I can't really pick them apart other than the gimping's slightly different on the top, and I must say I like the gimping on the Grah as well. The scales are lovely. Everything about them is, they just scream to me a bit more quality than sort of your average run-of-the-mill Solingens. If you know, well, just mass-produced ones, really. That's what I more mean. I did a little video today as well of kind of what I do off the stones. Just because some people get a bit interested, and you know, some people like to see what you're using and whatnot. I'm always happy to share. I've managed to do a bit of honing this week. Work's been mental. Not that I'm moaning. I'm self-employed, so when it's going mental, I suppose it's good. It just means I ain't got much time for razors. I've been doing digger work this week, gearing up for building sort of like a retaining wall out of sleepers, and gearing up for slabbing, gearing up for building a brick pillar, big old concrete posts, fencing as well, like arras rails and featherboard, and the posts are like 3.1, and to say they're heavy is an understatement. It's like hernia territory. You've got to be really careful moving them. As you can see, I've got a fair bit of growth going on. I've not been lazy, I just haven't been able to fit it in. Stuff to do. Waiting for a nice time to do it. And the girls were out today. I bumped off work a little bit earlier because I was getting pissed on, meaning rained. Sitting on an open cab digger, getting a very, very wet, soggy ass. Right, let's have a go at this gutter. We've got any ear hairs? Oh yeah, that boy's got rid of them, look at that. So like I said, even though these are a fine razor, they don't seem to, they just shave, man, they really do. That's what I mean. It's a lovely sound to it as well. If you like a razor that's got audible sort of feedback and that, they just, I don't know if you can see that, like my hairs I mean, but they're gone. I don't know, every razor I shave with is, they go, but I ain't kidding. That's why nearly every gutter I've ever had, well not ever had, because I was doing this before I was filming this, I've always shaved with, well, on film basically, because whenever I get one in, if it's a nice one, I always want to shave with one, and because I shave with so many different razors, sometimes I've got to have a feeling I want to put it on camera now. They're just lovely. They almost kind of breed like an inner confidence. I always find that I can shave a bit quicker with them. You know, they're not finicky at all. One pass is nearly all you need. Really is. Really, you know, gets rid of your hair pretty quick. They're designed to sit flat on the hones. They shouldn't have a smile, and they need it. Every single one I've ever had's definitely sat nice on the stones. The level of quality control, whoever was sending these out, I believe, was quite high. Because I don't know how many I've had now, but I must have had nearly 20 of them. And the only one that's honed a bit dodgy was my honing. I want to shave the rest of my face with it really, but anyway, let's do this Crown Imperial, the electric razor. Like I said, if you know anything about it, please get in touch. Oh, it's quite audible as well. Oh, well, be careful of tapping things when you've got a razor in your hand. Jab yourself somewhere. I kind of did a little experiment while honing this. So like I went through all my stones, went through my leather strops, like the pasted ones, and then I always check it before I go to like my linen horse strop. And it had this two little tiny nicks. Like you couldn't see them with your eye, but under the scope I could see them, and it always bothers me. I don't ever send the razor out with a knowing chip. We'll put it that way, like from the scope. Definitely not as good as the Grah, but frankly, nothing much is. So I had like a little chip, and I thought, let's just try and get it out with the old Magiro slurry. So I did a little bit kind of like thicker slurry, kept the water content down, and I spent a bit of time backwards and forwards, doing plenty of laps, and just gradually thinning the slurry out to no slurry, and then washed the stone off and did no slurry, and it got rid of the chips. I was really quite surprised, because sometimes like chips that, even though they were tiny, right on the very edge and everything, you know, even on my stones sometimes it can take a while, like on, you know, the 1000 grit Shapton Pro, but that Magiro slurry seemed to get rid of them really quick. I was pleasantly surprised. And it even had this like almost like a kind of like almost like a cut, like a bit of dodgy grit. It was on one of my stones. I didn't feel it, but sometimes it can happen. Like going across the bevel to the edge, and it got rid of that as well, like totally. So it goes to show, you know, like Magiros are considered right up there with the finer kind of Japanese slurries. You know, there's quite a few grades below it. I think there's, well, from memory, there's definitely 4 below it, but I think there might be 5, like graded stones. It's a nice soap to use. It smells lovely. Let's see if we can get a bit thicker, what's left on it. So it's coming a bit more water. Lovely. I keep putting my bloody hand in the water before I touch my razor. My OCD, man. Like obviously you've got to think when you're using any razor, but like I said, the Grah's definitely breed like a confidence. Not that you want to get overconfident with a razor. Because they bake. Weeper. Might actually be one of my past little nicks. Only a week ago on it, or whatever it was. It's Father's Day here tomorrow in the UK, so I wish all those super dads a happy Father's Day. I'm not going to shave tomorrow, no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind which is the better razor today. Not saying it's bad at all, just not as good as a gutter. Like I said, rarely a razor is. They are a supreme razor. Just dry them off a tad, like pre-drying away. Got loads of soap on my shaving towel today. Don't normally do that. It's in pretty fine fettle as well, this guy. I was really gentle in my sort of, I can't call it fully restored because there is a bit of whatnot in the pivot and that, but I don't like taking them apart unless I really have to. And you've got to be careful with the old polish on the gutters. Like some razors that have got like gold etching and everything, you don't have to worry about the gold etching too much, but with the gutters, if you use like any metal polish on it, it really gets rid of the brightness of the gold. It don't get rid of the gold, but it gets rid of the brightness of the gold really easy. So like with a Q-tip, I think they call it in America, or we call them cotton buds over here, it just gently went around the etching basically. And then just getting a little bit kind of like black in the pivot thing. That's not in any way rust or anything. It's where I put quite a lot, because sometimes I put polish, like metal polish, in the pivot bit quite a bit, and literally just work the razor backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, and if they're a bit stiff, it releases it. But also it cleans inside the pivot without, you know, taking it apart and stuff, which I only do if I have to cracked scale or anything. You know, if it intended to be one of my razors, sometimes I take it apart and fully restore, but I don't feel the need for ones that sometimes I'm not going to keep or anything. It's no issue showing a bit of age-related wear in my mind. So that's them two razors. Let's have a little feel. Lovely smell that is. And that's my third go using it, you know what I mean? The soaps. You could probably shave, well you could, yeah, look, getting quite thick. You could shave with it again, couldn't you? It's 3 goes. Ah, it's a lot, do you know what, that's a lot closer than what I was, well, thinking basically. A little bit there. It could have sort of caught up, I could feel that when I was shaving. Can't see it or nothing. Yeah, well, got a wins. As I could have told you before I shaved it, really. Like I said, sits lovely on the stones. Right, tidy everything up. I'm going to use a bit of Hayes Meadow tallow today. I've been using it a bit more recently because I've been drying out and stuff. Great stuff, man. Tallow. It's another Dapper Shaves tip from, God, months and months and months, maybe even a year ago. He got some. Brilliant stuff if you've never used it, like. Just put it on and it almost makes you feel like you're a tiny bit oily, but you don't feel, it's not visible or anything, and it just helps really moisturise great, like. Really great, especially after shaving. Dry everything down, make sure your pivots are dry as best as you can. You can, in between your scales, you can use the old pipe cleaner like Martin Test Shaves, YouTuber. I just put a piece of toilet tissue through it normally, like, and backwards and forwards a little bit through the scales. But whatever works. I think Dapper Shave says he hair dries some of his, or at least like everyone. I don't know. That's what I seem to remember. But it's another thing you can do as well. But if you're planning on sort of like shaving every other day, you're going to be using them. So lovely. Right, I hope you had a good day. I'll see you soon, maybe. Toodaloo.